All right, we're back with another episode of There's Always a Song. I'm Brent Buchanan from Pure Country in Fredericton. And my guest, normally, actually every episode has featured a New Brunswick artist. This time we have a guest in the studio with us who is born and raised in Nova Scotia but now lives out west. And he is a tribute artist. The Alan Jackson Experience. His name is Aaron Halliday, and Aaron's with us in studio. So thanks for joining us, Aaron.
Well, thank you for having me, Brent. It's awesome. It's been a really good day.
It's been you were in the studio with me earlier this morning at Pure Country, and now in the studio with Rogers. And let's talk a little bit about. Obviously, you're an Alan Jackson tribute artist.
Yes.
Alan Jackson, of course. Now we went over this earlier. He does have a medical issue, and he's done touring. He's all done touring.
He's all done touring.
What's the medical issue?
It's Charcot-Marie tooth disease, or CMT. It's a form of MS. Basically.
Yeah. So he's losing
his mobility.
Yeah.
Just really sad to see for somebody who was so active and.
Exactly.
You know, it breaks my heart to see him when he is on stage now. So.
Yeah, he needs help off the stage.
Yeah.
And but I guess the thing is with Alan Jackson, he does have one more show left to do, and it's going to be like a
big finale,
farewell show at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, and that's next year.
Yes.
So needless to say, with Alan Jackson leaving the touring scene.
The demand for my show is increased exponentially.
I betcha. Yeah.
Even today, since we talked this morning, we've had a call from Roatan, Honduras, for the end of August, and another theater in Alabama, because we're in Nashville in August on the 20th to record the last of my album, my original stuff, and then we're in Georgia for an award show, and now this theater in Alabama wants us for the Monday to Wednesday after we're in Atlanta. So
nice.
it's exploding. It really is.
Yeah. And I certainly think that Alan Jackson deserves a tribute artist.
I think he does.
Yeah. You know, there's tribute artists out there. There's Johnny Cash tribute artists. There's Elvis, of course.
Yeah.
Thane Dunn, of course, in Moncton. He does an amazing tribute to the early 1970s Elvis. And there's so many rock and roll tribute artists, the Eagles and Led Zeppelin and Queen and
Seeger, all of them.
Yeah, exactly. And is there a lot of Alan Jackson tribute artists out there?
No, there's not, which is good for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm sure over time, I mean, there are a few out there, and there's a few groups that have, like Alan and Garth and
I think that would be cool to do like a show like a tribute artists of Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, or Shania Twin as
yes,
one
there's one of those. Yeah. But no, Sharon, my wife, and I have been doing our bookings and stuff for ourselves for the last 15 years, and we finally had to bite the bullet and put some of that stress onto someone else. We have a booking agent now that we work with in Ontario.
Right.
They're the ones that are handling most of the stuff. I mean, we still get our calls from our contacts over 15 years.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. And how long have you been doing it? You've been doing
almost
it
30 years.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So you were
doing Alan Jackson just shortly after Alan Jackson started.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, it was cover band stuff. You know, I was in different bands back in the day when Alan Jackson was coming out with his first stuff.
89,
90s. The 90s,
91, yeah.
So it wasn't technically a tribute, but when I was in Summerland, British Columbia, and the band I was playing with, this was our last show at an outdoor festival type of event, and there was a Kenny Rogers tribute artist there, and his name is Marty Edwards, and he came to me after the show and said, "I hear the band's breaking up. Have you ever thought about doing a tribute to Alan Jackson?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'll just put another band together and keep doing cover band stuff." Which technically, the Alan Jackson tribute is a cover band
Pretty
thing.
much, yeah.
I mean, I still get to introduce my original stuff during my show, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And we're on our third album now, so, you know, there's a lot of Aaron Halliday out there. It's becomes a very odd balancing act to keep the tribute a tribute and not, you know, personally want to push the Aaron Halliday music
Right.
stuff.
You pepper the show
Exactly.
with Aaron Halliday.
Yeah,
but
it's just I use it as a correlation between Alan Jackson being a singer-songwriter and what he's done with his career, and the Aaron Halliday singer-songwriter, and this is what I do, and here's a few samples of what I do in my show.
Yeah.
But people are there for the Alan Jackson tribute.
Totally.
I mean, that's what we've built 30 years of making to this point. So.
Favorite Alan Jackson song?
Favorite one to sing would
sing.
be Midnight Montgomery, his tribute to Hank Sr.
Hank Sr.
It's a hard song to sing.
I wonder if it's a true story, because in the song he mentions that it was midnight in Montgomery and the bus pulls over on the side of where the graveyard is, and he paid tribute to Hank.
I never researched that, but I am pretty sure it's got to be something.
Probably.
He writes all the songs from his heart, so I'm
Exactly.
assuming that's probably the case.
Yeah.
Funnest song to sing, obviously Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee.
You know,
The
the
crowd
people
goes
love
wild.
it. And 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many shows now where I start that song and have to sing half of it.
Yeah.
The audience usually takes over.
Do you do where were you when the world stopped turning?
Sometimes. Depends on the venue. It depends on the crowd. It's not one that everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible song.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
he wrote that song and put the song out like a month after 9/11
Exactly.
happened. Yeah.
And that was kind of the turning point for me making the decision to do Alan, is because this Kenny Rogers guy, he was doing a show in Abbotsford, British Columbia. And this was a couple of months after we had talked, and I had picked up some tracks for Alan Jackson. He invited me to open his show.
Oh.
And Alan Jackson had just come out with Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning.
Yeah.
So there were no tracks for that. So, but it was such an emotional song.
Big time.
So I grabbed my guitar and sat down and listened to it over and over and over on YouTube until I figured out how to play it.
Yeah.
And I showed up for that show in Abbotsford, and I did my track show. And of course, the last song in my set was Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning?
Yeah.
And the theater had it all planned out, just a single stool in the middle of the stage, acoustic guitar and vocals. And I channeled Alan Jackson for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, it was just one of those moments. It was absolutely incredible. The place it was dead silent for the whole song, and then all you could hear was, you know, whimpering and stuff. And then when they brought the house lights up after that song, everybody was on their feet.
Yeah. And then you thought, okay, this
can do this.
This can be something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I walked backstage, and Marty, he came over, he put his hand on my shoulder. I think this was your night, he says. So, you know, after that was probably the defining moment in deciding, yes, Alan Jackson is as good as I think he is, and the people appreciate that. So.
And you've been to Nashville before?
Our first time was this year, and it was the first time I performed in Nashville. It was the start of our tour this year at the Troubadour Theater in Nashville.
Nice.
It was cool.
And it's
an eye-opening experience.
It is.
Nashville, you know, you have these big visions of, you can go to Nashville and you can make it big and all of this. But, I mean, Nashville was great. We did the Grand Ole Opry, Sharon and I, and we toured the Grand Ole Opry the afternoon before the show.
Yeah.
And the emotions. I mean, I grew up, Mom and Dad were, you know, everything from Lefty Frizzell to Ferlin Husky to Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and Ray Price. I mean, that's the stuff that they listened to. And Minnie Pearl and Little Jimmy Dickens. I mean, so when you're walking through the hallways at the new Opry and they have all of the memorabilia and the pictures and stuff, it was an emotional, really emotional.
I was talking to the guest that we had before you in a previous show of this. There's always a song, and how you get the goosebumps and the hair in the back of your neck. Yeah, like I was too. I'm just like a kid in a candy store when I'm there, because I'm a traditional country music fan.
Yes.
I do like some of the new stuff out there now, but it's the traditional country music that I love, and that's where the traditional country music started.
Yes.
That's where the songs were written. That's where that's where the songs were produced.
The Nashville sound.
The Nashville sound, exactly. And so many stories from, you know, from that city. That,
Yes.
That just it's just like, oh man. And if I could go back in time and live, I would go back to the 1960s and live in Nashville and just
Yeah.
hang out at Tootsie's all the time.
That would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it was incredible for me and Sharon. I mean, just, I don't even really know how to explain it. It's just almost a religious experience.
It's surreal.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not real. I mean, walking out on the stage at the Opry when we were doing the tour,
Yeah.
and the circle.
The Circle of Wood.
I was standing on the edge of it, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. But then reality kicks in and says, well, I may not have another opportunity.
Yeah.
And if I do get to come back and play the Opry one day, then standing in that circle will be...
For those that are unfamiliar with the Circle of Wood on the Opry stage, is they took the Circle of Wood when they moved from from the Ryman Auditorium to the new Grand Ole Opry. They took a large circle of wood from that stage at the Opry, or from the Ryman Auditorium,
yeah.
and took it and placed it on the middle of the stage at the new Grand Ole Opry. So all the Elvis Presley stood in that circle.
Yeah.
Hank Williams Sr. stood in that circle. Webb Pierce. And the list goes
everyone.
on and on and on. So that's circle.
Standing on that piece of wood was eerie for
Yeah.
me. It was it's an incredible place. It really is.
Yeah.
It's special, and I get to go down there because we're recording the last 6 songs off my album in August in Nashville.
So real quick about the Aaron Halliday, the Alan Jackson Experience. This is your second time in the Fredericton area.
Yes.
You were here a couple of years ago, and you go and you do these tours usually through the summertime and fall.
Yes, and then we head back to Mexico for the winter.
And you go to Mexico. You're living my dream.
It's my dream too, and I just can't believe it's actually happened.
Yeah. So you spend 6 months in Mexico, and you take the guitar down there, and the folks at where you play in Mexico is what's the town or city?
It's Mazatlan, Mexico. It's on the west coast, about 7 hours north of Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Day and a half drive south of Arizona.
Right.
So.
And you're just you're plugging away down there a couple of shows a week.
Little restaurant, well, not so little, but restaurant at the end of the north end of the beach in Mazatlan. It holds about 200 people, but our shows at the end of last season were 300 and 400 people.
Really?
It's just packed in there, and it's fun.
There's no fire marshal there.
There's no. It's Mexico.
Exactly.
The owner says, "Oh no, more." But no, we have a great relationship with the owner in Mr. Leonzo's. That's the restaurant, and it's just down the beach from the Rio Hotel, which is a 1,000-room resort.
And it's constant revolving door of
people are in
new...
every week. There's new people in for weeks or 2-week stretches, and they let us advertise on their Facebook on their site. So we have bookings from people who are booking their hotel and making sure that they have their shows booked for when they're in Mazatlan to catch my shows down.
Do you like doing the small, intimate shows in Mexico, or do you like doing the which is the?
It used to be small and intimate when I started down there, but now it's 300 people, or 400 people at the end of the season last year.
But when you're doing that compared to a festival stage or a theater stage,
I love to be in front of 10, 20,000 people.
Yeah.
I also love to be in front of 10 people. It's harder in front of 10 people.
It is, for sure,
Because, I always said, if you can police half the people in a crowd, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
So if you've got 10,000 people in front of you, 5,000 people like you, that's a great day. Yeah. If you're in a room with 10 people and 5 of them don't like you, then it's really tough.
Then you get trouble.
But, no, I've been in situations where I walked in and thought it was going to be different. Mm-hmm. And the front row of the stage is basically at your toes. So the people are right
there.
And as an entertainer, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I can connect with everybody in the room that way. And that's what I focus on. I'm not going to be a rock star. I'm well beyond that. But being a singer-songwriter and doing my stuff and doing my tribute to Alan Jackson, I can do that forever.
Exactly. Totally. Alan Jackson's not going to grow old.
No.
Your music. Now, we mentioned that you do sprinkle your show, the Alan Jackson Experience, with Aaron Halliday music.
Yes.
You get half the album recorded now, and you're going to go back to Nashville and record another 6 songs.
Another 6 songs, yeah.
So, does your music sound like Alan Jackson doing your music, or is it?
No, Aaron Halliday sounds different than Alan Jackson.
You have your own Aaron Halliday sound.
But the influences are obviously, I've been
Right.
singing Alan Jackson for 30 years, so
Yeah.
there's some influences and some flow that are like Alan Jackson's writing. But I have songs on the album that, like one of them, Broken Hearts and Shattered Dreams, I wrote when I was 14 years old.
Really?
And I wrote it for my grandmother when my grandfather passed away.
Yeah.
And kept it in my pocket. We kind of put it out during COVID as a demo, trying to feel it out.
Yeah.
And my wife and I love it. My family loves it. And everybody that I've played it for acoustically think it's just a great song. So
Yeah.
that's on the album.
Perfect.
I wrote a song in Ottawa when I was living there after I left Nova Scotia, because I was busking on the streets. And you meet the people who are on the streets.
Yeah.
I was busking because I needed something to do. I was living with my brother, and being in your brother's house
Yeah.
as a guest was always not the funnest thing.
Right.
So I would grab my guitar and go down to Rideau and Ottawa and busk. And I was sitting there one day, and somebody dropped a $20 bill in my guitar case.
A $20 bill.
$20 bill. And then there's hundreds of guys down there panhandling, busking. And
Yeah.
stuff. $20 is a big tip.
Yeah.
So I look up to see who it was. Well, we'll back up a little bit. At the time, I was playing Bud the Spud,
Oh.
Stompin' Tom.
Yeah.
And so then I looked up to see who dropped this $20 bill in my case, and it was Stompin' Tom.
Really?
And he looked at me, he says, "Son," he says, "you need to get off your ass," pardon my French, "and go do something with your music. You're
Yeah.
too good to be sitting down here." And it was probably 6 months later I moved out west and
Wow.
and started
That's
meeting
cool.
musicians and playing out there. So,
That's cool.
Silent Streets is about the homelessness life.
Yeah.
And it's a blues, Dire Straits,
Yeah.
Mark Knopfler kind of feel song. So there's
Mixture.
variety. I mean, the one I wrote early this year is called "It's Been a Minute," which I know will love.
Yeah.
Because it's about Merle Haggard. It's
Yeah.
been a minute since the possum stopped loving her today. And that whole feel, and it's a traditional
Yeah.
hardcore
Steel guitar
country.
feel.
Oh yes. So there's a variety of everything in there. I mean, there's a lot of love songs. There's a couple of tunes that are the Jimmy Buffett, Alan Jackson
Yeah.
feel, written in Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, the inspiration's
It's hard
pretty
not to be
easy
inspired
there.
with the white sandy beach and
Exactly.
palm trees and a margarita in your hand.
Yeah. So, no, it's really a 10-song collage
Yeah.
of my life in music. This album.
The song that you're going to do for us here on There's Always a Song is called Home Wasn't Built in a Day. Tell us about the writing on that song and where you were and
I
what
would
happened.
love to tell you the writing on that song. I didn't write that song.
You didn't write it?
No, it's the one song on the album I didn't write.
Really?
Back in 2018, Sharon and I went to Vancouver and met up with a producer, Jay Bittner. I don't know if you know Jay,
No.
but he plays lead guitar for George Canyon.
Okay, yep.
But
I
he-
probably met him.
I'm sure you probably have. And we had talked through the BC Country Music Association and decided we were going to go down to talk to him and pick out songs. I took a stack of songs, 100 of them, and we sat down and we went through all of these songs. And he had critiqued it to a pile of shredded paper, basically. And he said, maybe we should reach out to some guys and some writers and
Yeah.
see what we can get to, really focus on your music.
Yeah,
Or your delivery, your vocals.
yeah.
So he put some feelers out. The first song we recorded actually on the first album was written by Aaron Goodwin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron
it's
Goodwin,
called
yeah.
Don't Feel Like Dancing
Yeah.
Tonight. But this Home Wasn't Built in a Day was one of the 3 songs we're going to do on the EP.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written by 3 writers in Nashville.
Right.
And 2 days before we went to studio to record, one of the writers decided he was going to pull the song because he wanted to record it himself.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
And it broke my heart. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
So that was in 2018. Sharon and I paid very close attention to how it did, and he recorded it out of California, and he did a good job on the song, but it wasn't delivered the way I envisioned it, or
Right.
Sharon envisioned it. and it didn't do as well, obviously, I think, as he hoped it would. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last summer when we were on tour, we were driving down the road in the motorhome, Sharon's driving, and I'm texting the writers again saying, listen guys, I know you guys have already put it out, and I would like a chance to cut it on my next album, if you guys are okay with that. And, probably within 3 hours we got the okay from all 3 writers, because it meant so much to Sharon. The words in the song, it's like Remember When, or Drive, with Alan Jackson. The words in this song resonated with Sharon and I and our life and our kids and everything, so they gave us the okay to record that, and that was the first one we recorded in studio last fall in Ontario, and we decided that that's going to be the title track for the album, so it's just an incredible song.
All right.
And everybody that we've played it for live, it's part of the show.
Yeah, nice.
And everybody loves it. Everybody thinks it's the one.
It's the one. Well, we're going to hear the one. Aaron Halliday here with us on the show There's Always a Song, and we are going to hear Home Wasn't Built in a Day, and it's coming up right after this. Hey, welcome back to There's Always a Song. My name is Brent Buchanan, and in the studio with us, our guest on this episode is Aaron Halliday, and Aaron Halliday is going to do a tune called Home Wasn't Built in a Day.
Everybody wants tomorrow. We all wanted yesterday. Wish that we could start at the end and not put in the time it takes. The only things I know that last wasn't made that fast. Board by board, brick by brick, we made it anyway, but quick. Years of tears and blood and sweat, we'd fight like hell when we'd forget that faith and hope and love and trust are all the things that hold it up. I wouldn't have it any other way. 'Cause baby, home wasn't built in a day. Nobody would have guessed it from the way we started out. It'd be you and me and our little 3 all piled up on this couch. But look at us now. Board by board and brick by brick, we made it anyway, but quick. Years of tears and blood and sweat, we'd fight like hell when we'd forget that faith and hope and love and trust are all the things that hold it up. I wouldn't have it any other way. 'Cause baby, home wasn't built in a day. It takes more than windows, walls, and doors to block the rain and stop the storm. Board by board and brick by brick, we made it anyway, but quick. Years of tears and blood and sweat, we'd fight like hell when we'd forget that faith and hope and love and trust are all the things that hold it up. I wouldn't have it any other way. 'Cause baby, home wasn't built in a day. Baby, our home wasn't wasn't built in a day.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Aaron Halliday. You may see that he does look a lot like Alan Jackson, an Alan Jackson tribute artist. And thank you, Aaron, for coming in and sharing your talent with us. The song was Home Wasn't Built in a Day. I'm Brent Buchanan. Until the next episode of There's Always a Song, if you know someone that would be a great guest on the show, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. We'd love to have you on the show. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.